development on the property, so they won't be cut down when we discuss this for food. And the shade of the sequoia trees, as recommended by our permanent secretary, will give shade to people who walk past.
The General Secretary, Pacific Conference of Churches, Mr. Reverend James Bagwan, distinguished guests, members of the PCC, members of the media, Bula Binaka, and a very good morning to you all. It is a great pleasure to be here and be part of this tree planting exercise with the Pacific Conference of Churches. Psalm 24, which is also part of the scriptures of many faiths, states, and I quote, "The earth is the Lord's, and all that is in it, the world and those who live in it, for he has founded it on the seas and established it on the rivers." Unquote. The earth created by God supports the life of God's creatures. Raw materials from the earth provide our food, our clothing, and our shelter. Interaction with the natural world enable us to experience wonder, joy, celebration, and hope in a way as we can in no other place. We are called as human beings to exercise stewardship, not as owners, but as one who is charged with overseeing and looking after God's creation. That is why the churches around the world are calling people to have a renewed respect for the integrity of creation. In May of last year, PCC General Secretary Reverend James Bagwan, in his statement at the Third Climate Action Pacific Partnership Conference held here in Suva, affirmed the call of faith-based made in the Talanoa Call to action by the presidents of COP23 and COP24 for spiritual leaders to unlock spiritual pathways for addressing climate change. I commend Pacific Conference of Churches for making a stand, especially in advocating the plights of Pacific communities affected by climate change to international communities, regional and national platform, as well as at the community level. I also like to think that PCC support government's decision to ban the use of a single-use plastic bags, given its known adverse impact on the environment and ocean. The late John F. Kennedy once said that, and quote, "Our problems are man-made. Therefore, they may be solved by man," unquote. It is true that for many years we have been slow to respond or even recognize the magnitude of climate change. But I am proud to say that Fiji is now doing more to address climate change than any other time in its history. Throughout the Bible, up to the last chapter of Revelation, trees are seen as important to mankind. Many varieties of trees are cited in the Bible. The cedar tree became a temple, the fig and covering, and the gopher, an ark. Gopher wood, which many know now as pine, was used to build Noah's ark. This is a sign of God's provision for us through trees. No nation, however big or small, wealthy or poor, can escape the impact of climate change. It is becoming ever clearer that climate change is already having repercussions that seem almost biblical in scope. Rising sea levels threaten every coastline. More powerful storms and floods threaten every continent. On sinking islands and shorelines, families are already being forced to flee their homes as climate refugees. The security and stability of our nation is in jeopardy, and the time we have to control this phenomena is quickly running out. I believe climate change disproportionately affects the poorest and most vulnerable around the world, often those who have done the least to contribute to change in climate, yet have already started to bear the brunt of its devastating effect, Fiji included. Today's program is the start of what we in the Ministry of Forestry would like to see as a formidable partnership with faith-based organizations in Fiji and the region. A partnership to better address the effects of climate change and the renewed respect for creation. In our daily lives, we all need regular reminders of our connection with nature and our planet. This act is fundamental. The health of our planet is essential to our own health and well-being and to our future, and trees are a vital part of it. The Ministry of Forestry recognizes that faith-based organizations can yield significant influence in the lives of our people, and in choosing the partner with Pacific Conference of Churches, we hope that PCC, its members and other faith-based groups could help tackle climate change. Other environmental concerns and contribute to Fiji's socio-economic development. I keep saying that planting trees is the most practical and tangible nature-based solution to addressing such issues. And I hope and pray that the trees that we plant today will bring us a step closer in making our world safer and better place. Thank you and Dhanyavad. Bye.
Naka. Ladies, thank you.
My grandson. Yes.